Central and South Mississippi, central and south parts of Alabama, maybe the western Florida panhandle there. Here's one computer's version of how that may evolve timing-wise. Might actually begin before sunrise there around Beaumont, Texas, up to Longview and Shreveport, Louisiana. Spotty storms there, trying to be in a line, but little broken elements there. Then by 10 a.m. over into the Mississippi River area. Then it begins to come into Mississippi, Alabama, maybe more than one line, maybe some rotating storms ahead of the line, and then becomes more of a line there by evening into Alabama. Could be, even though they're not individual storms, there could be some rotations, circulations inside that line. So some tornadoes then, and maybe even Sunday from Norfolk, Virginia across the eastern Carolinas into eastern Georgia, some severe weather threat. Kim, Kelly?
Greg, thank you. Well, you know, much of the country saw a pretty warm December, and that meant the cost to warm our homes was less than what we paid last year.
But this upcoming Arctic blast may be a rude awakening for millions of us. We're joined now by Weather Channel business weather expert Paul Walsh. Paul, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's start with the basics. Yes. What role does weather play in determining how much we pay to heat our homes?
Well, Kim, pretty much everything. Of course, the colder it is, the more we have to pay to heat our home, and the more the price that the price of the commodity will be eventually. So weather is the key element in terms of determining how much we pay. And of all of the commodities that we use to heat our home, natural gas is probably the most weather sensitive. And about 50% of us use natural gas to heat our home in winter and also to cook. So the price of natural gas, both on the commodity market and eventually in terms of on our bill every month, is directly related to weather. And it has a direct impact on the overall economy of the U.S. because, of course, the less we pay to heat our home, the more money we have in our pocket to spend.
And we like that, of course, Paul. And
yes.
I know winter just officially began not too long ago, but how are we doing so far? How has this price of natural gas been impacted so far?
So far, the price of natural gas on the commodity markets has been at a 27-month low. And the reason is two things. One, fracking. So there's more natural gas inventory available to us. And the second is the weather. It's been warm. So this December thaw means that there's less people using natural gas. So demand is down, supply is up. So the price on the commodity markets has been really low. In terms of what we're paying, though, that doesn't directly impact. The impact that we directly pay is a function of demand. And as it's been warm, we've been paying less. So therefore, again, a little bit more money in our pocket.
And Paul, you know, with this Arctic blast coming our way here this week coming up, are we already starting to see maybe increases in the gas prices already?
Yeah, we are, Kim. And what's interesting is that a lot of the energy producers and the people that actually trade natural gas on the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, use weather forecasts to determine what kind of weather is coming, and they use that to determine how much they're going to pay for natural gas. So the prediction of this Arctic blast that we've been looking at over the last couple of days has actually resulted in the price of natural gas in the commodity markets finally going up after those 27-month lows. In terms of what we pay, we're going to end up spending more money for natural gas because the price that we pay is oftentimes set based on what happened last year. So the actual price is a function of the polar vortex for last year that we're paying. As demand increases, it's going to cost us more. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a bite out of our wallet as we move into next week.
We shall see. Paul, thank you so much for at least the heads up, right?
That's right, absolutely. So how cold are we talking? We'll have more Arctic blast coming up.
That's right. Stay with us.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
At Olive Garden, we're bringing new things to the table, like new citrus chicken Sorrento, part of our 575 calories or less lighter Italian fare menu. Enjoy fresh tossed. Go fish and taste the lighter side of delicious at Olive Garden.
Alka-Seltzer Plus presents The Cold Truth.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something. I'll catch up later.
Truth is, Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go!
And now, Alka-Seltzer Plus has a complete line of powders to treat your worst cold symptoms.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make breakfast even better. Grand's biscuits make breakfast pop.
Stop by your neighborhood Ace and we'll help you get organized. 18-gallon totes, $3.99 after $1 instant savings.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
My mother made the best toffee in the world. It's delicious. So now we've turned her toffee into a business. My goal was to take an idea and make it happen. I'm Janet Long, and I formed my toffee company through LegalZoom. I never really thought I would make money doing what I love.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom.com today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Nourished. Rescued. Protected. Given new hope. During the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru owners feel it too. Because when you take home a new Subaru, we donate $250 to helping those in need. We'll have given $50 million over 7 years. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Is your back acting up again? Is lower back pain a daily drain? If you're one of the millions who suffer from the agony of lower back pain, you need Be Active, the revolutionary new acupressure system that instantly helps ease discomfort in your lower back, buttocks, and legs. Watch. Just slip on Be Active and tighten the strap. You'll instantly begin experiencing relief. Look, back pain often radiates from the lower back to your lower extremities, but apply Be Active to the trigger point on the calf muscle to instantly relieve pain. The secret is the AcuPoint pressure pad that gently compresses, alleviating pain at the sciatic nerve and lower back for instant relief.
I just slide it on, I tighten the strap, I feel the pressure point right behind my knee, and right away I feel the release of pain in my lower back.
Be Active provides firm pressure behind the knee on the specific pressure point, which can help relieve the pain and suffering from sciatica.
Wow, that's I can feel comfort already.
It's like right away relief.
I just put it on, but I can feel it already easing the pain.
But now I don't feel the pain at all. This is really something.
You can't see the relief? I can feel it.
It kind of feels like it's relaxing that muscle.
I definitely wish I found this a couple months ago.
Be Active gives you the ability to instantly be active again. Wear it while exercising. Keep up with the kids. It's invisible under clothing, comfortable enough to sleep in. Be Active easily adjusts to fit any leg so everyone can live pain-free. Be Active is always there to deliver the pain relief you need. Now start living pain-free with the acupressure point therapy of Be Active for just $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing. If you don't begin to get instant relief, send it back and owe nothing. You get it all for just $19.99. So call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-370-7747. That's 1-800-370-7747 or go online to beactivebrace.com. Call or click today.
Hey, welcome back to Weather Center Live. You know, this was a dangerous morning across parts of the Southern Plains. Several crashes resulted from icy roads in Texas. In Wichita Falls, a car crashed into a police car, which was already on site responding to another crash. No one was hurt, thankfully. Now, these conditions are courtesy of Winter Storm Frona. It's pushing east. Here's a look at the radar right now where we have some of the icy weather going on, where you see the purples. That's indicating some of the freezing rain and sleet that we're seeing right now. There may be a time you mix with a little bit of rain and then back to some freezing rain. Temperatures overnight may drop a little bit below freezing. So we could see some of this rain change over to freezing rain before it's all done. Kelly?
And Kim, as we take a look at the days ahead, sorry, Minneapolis, you are going to be downright frigid. In fact, by the middle of next week, your lows could be in the negative teens. Right now, you've got a relatively balmy 27 degrees under cloudy skies. Well, when temperatures get extremely low, you can sometimes feel a burn in your throat, especially if you're running out there. Meteorologist Mike Bettis explains why that happens and what you can do to help stop it.
Laced up, zipped up, and ready to pound the pavement. And when the temperature drops, many runners experience a burning when they breathe. But don't blame the cold. It's actually the dryness of the air that's causing this irritation. When air travels down your trachea, your body is warming it to match your body temperature, and then raising it to 100% humidity. The cells that line the trachea give up their water supply to make this happen. And when the air is dry, the cells can become dehydrated. That exchange can irritate your throat and chest and create the uncomfortable burning sensation. But doctors say simple things can keep it under control.
Maybe use a mask or a scarf to humidify and warm the air a little bit. Anything that provides just a little bit of extra space will help warm the air and humidify it. Also, if people breathe through their nose, the nose has a lot more surface area to warm and humidify the air, and it's better than if a person just breathes in through their mouth.
And stay hydrated. The more water you put into your body, the less likely the cells in your trachea will get dehydrated. I'm Mike Bettis, the Weather Channel.
All right, we've already dealt with a couple of blasts of Arctic air so far this season. Well, get ready. Here comes the next one. And for some of you, this is going to be the coldest air you've experienced in quite some time. There's that much colder air late this weekend up across the northern plains, up over the border into Canada. The jet stream dipping to the south and heading east. And that means the cold air is not just going to dive southward, it's going to push east as well. So we're talking about temperatures about 15 to 30 degrees below average for this time of the year from the northern plains right on down towards Texas, where, as you know, some of you are experiencing some of that freezing rain right now. Well, tomorrow, here we go, 31 degrees in Minneapolis. That's actually above average for you, but here comes the pink. That means much colder air. Look at that, a high of just 1. That's 21 degrees below your average for this time of the year. Chicago, you get really cold by Monday as you head back to work. Make sure you layer up and put the hat on your head too. Temperatures in the single digits, but then we bounce back to 25 on Tuesday. That's still below your average, by the way. Single digits around Minneapolis and just barely above 0 across North and South Dakota. So Minneapolis, your average high for this time of the year, 24 degrees. Will be above that tomorrow, just slightly below the freezing mark. Then look at that, a big drop off for Sunday with 1 for a high temperature, only 4 on Monday, 7 on Tuesday, 0 for a high on Wednesday. So you know at night it's going to be a lot worse than that. Kim?
Well, a few minutes ago, we showed you what can happen when roadways get icy in winter conditions. Well, do you know what to do when you encounter the most dangerous type, black ice?
It's a crisp fall morning as you drive into work. With only a light drizzle to contend with, it looks like smooth sailing. That is until you hit the overpass. You're sliding on black ice. To avoid crashing, would you A, accelerate through the icy patch? B, ease off the gas and allow yourself to coast right through it? Or C, hit the brakes and stop as quickly as possible?
Curling up in bed with a favorite book is nice, but I think women would rather curl up with their favorite man. But here's the thing. About half of men over 40 have some degree of erectile dysfunction. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection. And remember, you only take it when you need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
We're taking outdoor living to the extreme.
the ultimate sportsman's lodge. Take these amazing mountain views, add in some wild neighbors, and you have every outdoorsman's dream.
Look at this view.
It's high-tech, handcrafted, and full of surprises and celebrity outdoor enthusiasts. Tom Brokaw, Huey Lewis, and Jim Belushi. Come inside the ultimate sportsman's lodge. New series, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Great American Country.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This new year, you can really experience eHarmony for free. It's the first step in finding that perfect person for you. Connect for free this Friday through Wednesday only.
You know, I tried one of those bargain paper towels, but the roll just disappeared. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so one roll lasts longer. Bounty, the long-lasting picker-upper.
My job is so hard on my hands.
The cracks were the worst part.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
There was a difference within just minutes of it absorbing into my skin.
Only O'Keefe's has given me the relief that I need.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Okay, listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure. 24 vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and 9 grams of protein.
Ensure, nutrition in charge.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
Push it.
Push it. Push it real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Baby, baby.
If you're Salt and Peppa, you tell people to push it.
Push it real good.
That's what you do.
Hey, girl.
Hey, can you help me move?
Sure, but I can't use my hands.
I would, but my back is so bad.
Oh.
Well.
Hi, I'm moving.
No problem.
The Xfinity Movers Edge program makes it easy to stay connected to your TV, internet, and home phone when you move.
Thank you.
Finally get some help moving. Get your Xfinity services professionally installed on the date you choose. Or ask how you can take your equipment with you. Call 1-855-MOVE-EDGE or go online today.
Megan loves coffee, but she doesn't know that coffee has acid, which breaks down tooth enamel. Thankfully, she uses ACT Restoring Mouthwash with fluoride. It does more than freshen breath. It rebuilds tooth enamel, making your teeth 2 times stronger. ACT. Smile strong.
Think of Gold Bond Men's Lotion as honey. And here come the bees. Bzzz. Bzz.
Gold Bond Men's Lotion. Skin strengthening proteins plus 7 intensive moisturizers.
Man up with Gold Bond.
Everything home, all in one place. Shop today's sales at wayfair.com.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, before the commercial break, we asked if you would know what to do if you encounter black ice on the roadways. Here's your best plan of action.
Black
Black ice refers to ice that's developed on the surface of a roadway. Now, black ice is actually transparent, but it takes on the color of the underlying surface.
When the ice starts to get wet from the outside temperatures warming up slightly, ice gets very, very slick as the tires hit. Can't do their job and really provide the grip and thus traction that gives you control and safety.
Temperatures get below 32 degrees. That's the freezing mark. You can see actually water start to freeze on the surface of the roadways.
The most susceptible areas to see black ice are typically bridges and overpasses because they not only cool from the top surface but the undersurface as well. So they cool the quickest, and that's where you're going to see that formation.
And here you are, careening out of control. What would you do if you found yourself sliding on dangerous black ice? Believe it or not, B, coasting with your foot off the gas is the right way to go.
One of the best ways to really approach black ice is to slow down all of your reactions, gently lift off the accelerator, and essentially try to coast through, not make any kind of rash movement, and glide through the area so that you can get as much grip as possible.
Well, of course, accidents are never a good thing, but there's something especially frightening when a fire truck is involved in one. In fact, take a look at this scene outside St. Louis this morning. A 60,000-pound fire truck flipped on its roof after sliding off an icy road and on into a ditch. Now, 2 firefighters were hurt, but St. Louis affiliate KSDK says their injuries are not life-threatening. The fire truck and the firefighters were on their way to another accident at the time. Well, let's take a look at where more snow and ice is possible in the coming days. Kim joining me now from the lab with your winter weather update. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kelly. You know, they're the cavalry. It's like when the cavalry goes down, you really get scared. They really can be bad. And we're going to see some areas where we will see some icy roadways, not just in West Texas, but eventually maybe even into Chicago and even into parts of New England. So let's start out looking at our water vapor imagery. And we're looking at moisture at the middle of the atmosphere and higher. Where you see the oranges and the reds, that's dry air. Where you see a lot of the whites and you see all the reds and blues, that's moisture in the middle of the atmosphere and higher. You can even pick out upper level systems, the way they spin. The upper level low is back here, looks like right over El Paso or close to it as we speak. Snow levels, we're seeing snow in Silver City, in Deming, New Mexico, about 4,300 feet, and it's right underneath that upper level low. Now this is going to take a track like this, the upper level low itself. So out ahead of it, if you remember, showing a lot of the flow from the southwest. So what we're doing is anywhere we have Arctic air that moved down, remember, to West Texas, where temperatures are 32 or less, this is where we have a problem because we have all this warm air aloft right above the surface that's above freezing moving over that cold air. So that's why we're seeing the problems in West Texas right now. We still have temperatures very cold here, and we're starting to see the southwesterly winds aloft bringing the mild air over the top of it. So it falls as it's rain, it hits the surface where it's below freezing, and we actually get freezing rain. So we're going to watch the low track north and east. This is the one here in this sector. Dr. Forbes on top of the hour, and we'll talk about the potential for severe storms with this. But this is going to be a great scenario for freezing rain. Now, it's not going to be a significant event because it's moving pretty quickly. The warm air gets in there and changes a lot of us over to rainfall. So in Chicago, you're going to start out with snow tonight, change over to rain by the morning hours, in between freezing rain, and then back to snow once the system moves by, because now the cold air wraps around it again. And then we change over to snow, rain snow mix in Cincinnati later on in the day. A lot of folks here on Sunday will be sitting home watching the Bengals play and hopefully winning. But watching the East Coast with rain. Okay, so we're going to start out with snow and all kinds of icy conditions up here into upstate New York, but it will change over to rain, then back over to snow again. So it's really a crazy forecast, Kelly, and it's typical when you have a situation like this.
Absolutely, and that's why you got to keep watching the Weather Channel. We've got much more coming up in the next hour of Weather Center Live, including on the latest on the search for the wreckage from AirAsia Flight 8501.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies. Low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live on this Friday, everybody. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Kim Cunningham. Hope you had a great week and a happy new year. Snow and whiteout conditions, unfortunately, being blamed now for 2 fiery pileups on the same stretch of interstate. Nearly 36 vehicles were involved.
And it really doesn't matter where you live. We've got a lot of impacts out there. Just look at all the colors on that map behind us. We're talking snow, sleet, rain, and even the risk of severe weather showing up in the red. That is in the forecast for the weekend. What you can expect and also where you live, that's coming up throughout this hour.
We begin, though, with the messy pileups. This was one of them. A fire actually broke out after a car went under a semi. Now, officials say the accidents happened around 9:45 on Interstate 93 near Ashland, New Hampshire. That's north of Manchester and Concord. All told, 35 vehicles were involved. A state police spokesman says there were some injuries, but they weren't considered life-threatening. A state DOT spokesman says that stretch of road went from dry pavement to snow-covered in just 3 minutes. And Kelly, I'm sure it caught everybody off guard.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen very quickly. Of course, we see it all the time closer to the Great Lakes with those lake effect snow bands. But even here across New England, you get that snow going and you've got slippery conditions in a hurry. This is a look at the radar showing the blue on the map. Of course, this accident happening earlier this morning. And we did have these fast-moving squalls moving across not just central New Hampshire, but down across the southern part of the state as well. And yeah, again, around 10 o'clock in the morning is when things got really bad on that stretch of interstate. NECN reporter Michael Rosenfield spoke to drivers who just got caught up in the mess.
These are just some of the 35 cars involved in Friday morning's pileup. Broken glass, smashed up hoods, doors ripped off. Drivers say it was a blinding snow squall that suddenly appeared.
The squall came in, all of a sudden, roads iced over and cars was just spinning out one after the other.
You got to be super careful. I mean, I grew up in Canada, so, I'm watching these cars go by and they're going, much faster than we are, and I'm thinking that's not an intelligent approach.
From the sky, you can see part of all the wreckage on the highway. 93 northbound closed for hours. State police say there were 2 pileups. This truck in the middle of all the chaos.
Well, this one was pretty bad because one of the vehicles that spun out of control went underneath the trailer portion of a tractor-trailer unit, which ultimately caught on fire. And the vehicles were all in close proximity of each other, and everybody was able to escape without any injuries.
The driver of the truck reluctant to talk about what happened.
All I can tell you is I didn't receive a ticket. I was not at fault.
New Hampshire State Police say the snow moved in around 9:30, about 3 inches falling in the area. Numerous tow truck drivers were dispatched to the scene to remove all of the vehicles involved and get the highway reopened.
Honestly, it's the worst accident I've seen on 93 in my career. I've been doing this for about 5 years, and sorry, this has been bad.
Wow, some tough stuff there in New Hampshire. We're going to see more snowy and icy weather coming your way here over the weekend. So let's talk about where this is beginning. And we've been tracking this since the Pacific Northwest, middle of last week. This is Frona, and we're seeing the upper level low back here around the Four Corners, or south of the Four Corners, right here around El Paso. But out ahead of it, we've got the cold air in place. We've got southwest winds aloft that are actually ushering warmer air over the top of the cold air. That's why we're seeing the wintry weather. We're seeing the icy weather, and conditions in West Texas could be very icy too. So please, you might want to avoid traveling in West Texas here as this system is moving through as we speak. So you can see the way the moisture is flowing from the south to the north, all that warm air aloft moving up. And eventually we're going to see all that warm air spreading through the Ohio Valley too. But until that happens, we may be dealing with some icy weather too. So here's our jet streams. The dip here indicating where the colder air is. There's that southern branch that's responsible for bringing that warmer air northward. So we're going to see the warm front all the way to Michigan with this. So strong southerly winds out ahead of it. Dr. Forbes will talk about the severe threat with this. But around that warm front, and before the warm front comes through, we're talking about a wintry mix of freezing rain. And maybe for some of you, like in Chicago, we're going to see snow to freezing rain and then eventually change over to rain as the warmer air will be flooding in. And then we'll see that change over to snowfall. So watching the rain across the Ohio Valley overnight, we'll see the cold air wrapping in behind it, and that's going to mean wintry weather back in the forecast here on Indianapolis, so traveling 74. Could be an issue, might be a rain-snow mix. But here along the East Coast, expect airport delays with a forecast like this. We'll have more on this coming up in about 10 minutes, but expect rain up and down 95 for most of Sunday. Kelly?
And Kim, along with that winter storm, we've got a severe threat to track as well. Storms could fire up along the Gulf Coast this weekend. Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is in the lab with all the details. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, you're exactly right. The Gulf of Mexico doesn't really cool down in the winter, so anytime we get a storm system coming in, the more moist air gets pulled in off the Gulf, and that leads to instability and maybe strong to severe thunderstorms. Could be some tornadoes, Mississippi, Louisiana, maybe Alabama tomorrow. Now, some of that warm air is already pushed onshore, and New Orleans got to actually 76 today. As you can see here, the winds coming in from the south and east. Now, the place where the winds are faster aloft are actually over here in Texas where it's cooler. So not everything has come together today for severe thunderstorm threat, but it will do that tomorrow as this cold pocket aloft, that upper air system that Kim was showing, pushes farther to the east. That will get some of that fast winds from the south and west over Louisiana, while at the same time tomorrow the surface winds will be from the south and east. So that kind of turning of the winds with height allows the storms to sometimes develop some rotation. Here's how the temperatures will evolve. Watch this computer forecast. The yellow and brown colors show the warm air moving in from places where it was in the 50s at Jackson and Montgomery this evening. By tomorrow morning, it goes up at Jackson to 65. Watch also the west edge of this yellow and brown area. That's a cold front. So you see, as it pushes east, that cold front will be the trigger for some of these storms. By afternoon, that comes into Mississippi and Alabama and toward the New Orleans area. That's 3 p.m. Then we get towards 7 p.m. Might be working its way into Georgia and down past the New Orleans area. As it does so, we'll see severe thunderstorm threat moving from the western part of this red shaded area earlier in the day toward the evening hours, the eastern part of the red shaded area. Not much of a hail threat, but damaging winds, some locally heavy rain, a couple of tornadoes certainly seem likely. And the tornado condition index wise on a scale of 0 to 10, I've given a 3 there, meaning about a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles in these red shaded areas. The next day, there could be some severe thunderstorms from the Norfolk area down across the eastern Carolinas into Georgia. Here's how the threat might evolve even tonight before sunrise, with some of the stronger storms beginning to tap some of that wind shear around the Beaumont, Port Arthur area up toward Longview, Texas. And this computer forecast then of the future radar shows then some of the storms by 10 a.m. coming toward the Mississippi River Valley area toward Baton Rouge, and then coming into the afternoon, probably when they're going to have the biggest tornado threat, Mississippi. Some of the storms might be isolated out ahead of the line, a line coming into the New Orleans area, and then by evening, a line coming into central parts of Alabama and continuing then into the Georgia area. Even when you get lines like that, you can sometimes have some tornado circulations embedded within that. So, Kim and Kelly, we're going to be needing to pay attention to the weather tomorrow.
And not just severe storms, Kelly, but also some heavy rain.
That's right, and cold weather too. We are tracking it for you next.
If a denture were to be put under a microscope, we can see all the bacteria that still exists. Polident's unique MicroClean formula works in just 3 minutes, killing 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria for a cleaner, fresher, brighter denture every day.
A new look from Men's Warehouse is the perfect way to step into the new year. For 4 days only, take an additional 50% off all clearance items. Plus, buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Confidence sold here, only at Men's Warehouse.
Nourished, rescued, protected, given new hope. During the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru owners feel it too. Because when you take home a new Subaru, we donate $250 to helping those in need. We'll have given $50 million over 7 years. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies. Low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
At LegalZoom, you can take care of virtually all your important legal matters in just minutes. Now it's quicker and easier for you to start your business, protect your family, and launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Alka-Seltzer Plus presents The Cold Truth.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something. I'll catch up later.
Truth is, Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go! And now, Alka-Seltzer Plus has a complete line of powders to treat your worst cold symptoms.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Weather Center Live. There's a live look for you over the Atlanta skyline from the world of Coca-Cola. And yeah, we've got a lot of clouds out there, even some light rain being reported right in the heart of the city. We've had rain on and off throughout the day. Temperatures in the upper 40s. So it's not just raining, it's cold and just kind of miserable out there, unfortunately. I just checked on the airport situation though. I'm not seeing too many delays there. Kim's going to have more on your travel coming up in just a moment. But there's a look. You do see some heavier rain though starting to push in from the south side of the city. The airport is actually located on the southwest side of the city, so we'll have to monitor conditions there. Light rain showers for the most part as you look to North Georgia and surrounding areas over towards Birmingham. Every once in a while, you may hear a rumble of thunder, but for the most part, we're not seeing much lightning with this. We also have the rain moving into the French Quarter, moving from south to north. Scattered rain showers from the Ozarks back into Oklahoma as well. And there's a closer look at South Carolina, right around Columbia on up towards Charlotte. The rain has moved into the Queen City and temperatures are right around 50 degrees. There's New Orleans where you see mostly light rain affecting the tourists out there in the French Quarter. And there's a look at some purple on the map in Texas. Not a color you want to see. This is indicating some freezing rain, so watch out for some slick conditions between Abilene and Lubbock, especially those ramps, those bridges and overpasses. There's a look at Little Rock where you've got some rain a little bit heavier on the north side of town. We've got plenty of moisture to work with as we go into this weekend. It's not going anywhere. We are going to continue to see rain heavy at times, and in fact we're going to have to watch out for some severe thunderstorms across Louisiana, Mississippi, even getting into Alabama. Watching places like Destin, Florida. If you are on vacation out there, Saturday night could be some issues with some strong damaging winds. Can't rule out possibility of tornadoes. Wet weather continues to push eastward as we head into the second half of the weekend. Kim?
And it picks a bad weekend to do this too, Callie, because you know the holiday travel rush isn't over yet. Millions of people returning home this weekend. You have to go back to work, back to school next week. And the airports will be affected by Winter Storm Frona for sure. In Atlanta right now, it is, Kelly showed you, the rain is on the way, some heavy rain as well. But I'll tell you, there's no delays at the airport right now. But check ahead as this heavier band of rain begins to move in. 48 degrees right now. Again, no delays being reported. While in Dallas, 40 degrees, no delays being reported here as well. However, keep an eye on this, okay? We're going to see more rain move through Dallas, and we could see some delays. So check ahead for sure around the Big D, but good news, no delays. All right, let's take a look at the forecast, and we're expecting delays, though, for some of these cities. Chicago, New Orleans, New York City, D.C., all airports that could see airport delays over the next couple of days. So keep an eye on this as Frona begins to move east. Another area, Boston, New York City, D.C., and Atlanta on Sunday. So another area to keep an eye on. Just check with your carrier before you head out. So this is not the only big story. We got another big story, and that's the cold coming our way. Kelly?
Cold air, and we've got playoffs, NFL playoffs going on this weekend. So we've got it all going on. Our first weekend of the new year, and we've got a lot of colors on the map too, by the way. Look at the blue showing up in the northern part of the country. That is snow. Your high 31 degrees in Minneapolis. The purple and pink indicating more of a mixed bag, some freezing rain and sleet. Then you get south of the Ohio Valley, it's rain and heavy rain too. In fact, we could see some severe storms right along the Gulf Coast. We're thinking for the Carolina Panthers game, there will be some rain showers moving through. Temperatures not too bad though. Out ahead of this system, we're pretty mild. Look at that. Atlanta, mid-60s, 61 degrees in New York, 57 degrees as you make your way up toward the Boston area, 28 degrees in Chicago. The cold air is going to be arriving for you guys the second half of the weekend. It's already here. Minneapolis, look at that. 1 degree, at least on the positive side of 0, but those overnight low temperatures are going to be much worse than that. Here's a look at Monday. Still single digits from Minneapolis even over towards Chicago. Atlanta, we're dropping it down to 50 for a high temperature. The kids going back to school, make sure they are layered up, especially here on Tuesday morning. It's going to be cold out there at the bus stops. Snow showers from the Great Lakes on into the Northeast. Just 30 for your high in New York City, so not even getting above freezing. Wednesday, we are literally freezing from the Great Lakes into the Northeast. Look at you, Chicago. -1 for a high temperature, 0 in Minneapolis. Stays cold through Thursday as well. We'll be right back.
Started my Camry. Drove to her wedding. Did not forever hold my peace. The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you tired of slicing and dicing by hand and bulky slicers that clutter your countertop? Stop! Introducing 1 Second Slicer, the amazing food preparation station that slices, dices, chops, minces, and juliennes, and then serves, seals, stacks, and stores, all in one compact container the size of a loaf of bread. Why single slice a potato when you can slice the whole potato in 1 second? Slice family-sized fries lightning fast, or a pile of shoestring potatoes in a flash. Slice carrots with incredible speed in any shape or size you need. Stop crying over onions because the 1 Second Slicer chops whole onions in the container without the tears. Slice tomatoes with the speed of a professional chef, or make a full-size fruit salad in less than 60 seconds. The stainless steel blades are laser-honed and razor-sharp to slice deli meat with ease, and cutting cheese cubes is a breeze. Don't slow slice a salad when you can make an entire salad start to finish in just seconds. Or pack them up for parties with family and friends. To clean, simply push a button to release food remnants and then rinse. That's it. And then store it all together inside the container. The 1 Second Slicer, complete with a hinge cutting lid and storage container, stainless steel blade insert, and fresh keeping lid, is yours for just $19.95. Call now and get the amazing V-Slicer to speed slice sausage in the container, veggies on the cutting board, cheese on top of a salad, or a mountain of coleslaw in seconds. The V-Slicer set is a $20 value, but it's yours absolutely free. But wait, order now and we'll double the offer and send a second complete set. Just pay separate processing and handling. You get 2 1 Second Slicer sets, an incredible $80 value, all for just $19.95. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-570-8565. That's 1-800-570-8565, or go to 1secondslicer.com. Order now.
Everyone sees the same sky. But when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Somewhere in the Caribbean, there are 5-star luxury resorts where every day is unscripted, where the warmth of the islands can fill your soul, where martinis are stirred, dance floors are shaken, and your taste buds can travel the world. Sandals, the world's only luxury-included resorts, where love is all you need because everything else is included. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
I'm the luckiest woman in the world
because I was one of the first people to sail on Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line's beautiful Grand Celebration, the newest and best cruise to the Bahamas. With 2 fun-filled nights on the ship, a spectacular day in the Bahamas, and prices from just $149, you can get lucky too. Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100 and let the fun begin.
Way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies. Low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back, everyone. Time for today's weather headlines. And firefighters in Australia are battling a massive brush fire from the air and the ground. Residents of the town of Moyston, about 100 miles west of Melbourne, have been told to take shelter. One home has burned so far as winds gust to over 55 miles per hour. A separate brush fire near Adelaide has destroyed 4 homes, according to 9 News Australia. Kim?
Well, search crews off the coast of Indonesia are working hard to find the main fuselage of AirAsia Flight 8501. It sits somewhere at the bottom of the Java Sea. The jet went down last weekend after encountering bad weather. And now storms are making the process of recovering the victims and black boxes very difficult. NBC's Katie Tur is there.
Another day of rough seas and high winds as search teams recovered more than 20 bodies today. Pulled from the Java Sea along with 3 large pieces of plane wreckage. But 6 days after the plane went missing, there is still no confirmation of where the fuselage may be. Investigators had hoped to be able to spot it visually in the shallow waters. Now it's up to specialized acoustic equipment to listen for pings from the black boxes.
Currently, we have about a 3-week window left for the pingers for the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. Once the weather calms down, the odds go up exponentially.
The same strategy searchers tried unsuccessfully to find Malaysian Air 370 in the Indian Ocean. At a press conference today, news of an oil slick found in the search zone. I can confirm about the oil spill, he said, but he could not confirm any sign of the rest of the plane. And today, 3 more bodies were identified, among them flight attendant Hairunisa Fauzi. Meanwhile, at Captain Irianto's home in Surabaya, his wife sits quietly, receiving condolences.
How are you doing? Fine.
Friends say she has been holding on to hope that her husband is still alive. Among those paying their respects today, Irianto's flight school classmates, friends for 30 years.
The first time we cannot accept what happened, but now we realize it's the God. The God has to do that.
Prayers, too, for the weather to clear and for the search to finally yield some answers.
Irianto's flight school friends tell us that he was a fighter pilot before he went into commercial aviation and that he was the best among them. He also leaves behind an 8-year-old son who thinks dad is still at work. Katie Tur, NBC News, Surabaya, Indonesia.
Just a heartbreaking, very sad story we've been covering here on the Weather Channel 2 because of the weather conditions in the area at the time of the crash, and now, of course, for the search and recovery. Just to kind of go over some of the facts for you. Again, this is an Airbus A320-200, left Surabaya, Indonesia at 5:35 their time and was supposed to arrive in Singapore about 3 hours later.
And we know it didn't do that. As a matter of fact, at 6:24, lost contact with it. 155 passengers were on board, 7 crew members, 2 pilots, and 5 attendants as well. So again, Kelly, the bad news is that the weather doesn't change that much here. I mean, it's constant that we are getting the threat for thunderstorms somewhere over the Java Sea while they're trying to search, and sometimes it's right over the areas you can see right here.
And we do experience a lot of turbulence when you get those thunderstorms going, and that's exactly what's going to be happening here through the Java Sea in the search and recovery area. Again, this is around the Indonesia, between Indonesia and Asia, and you can see this is the whole area that they're looking at, but they have to look at the currents too, Kim, and most of the debris spotted so far has been closer to the coast of Indonesia there in the yellow.
And that makes sense when the current in this part of the Java Sea is more from west to east, so that makes sense pushing it here against land here on that northern part. So the forecast, unfortunately, again, with the intertropical convergence zone right in this area, is going to be more thunderstorms daily in this region. They just have to pick what is a good time to get out there, and that's tough to do.
It really is, and all that orange and yellow, that indicates some of the thunderstorms. The sea surface gets a little rough with that as well. Stay with us. We are tracking quite the Arctic plunge across the lower 48.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. That's why I like Glucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes.
Glucerna, the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
Your cold doesn't rest, but now you can. Cold-Ease Daytime, Nighttime Quick Melts dissolve quickly to shorten your cold. Nighttime Quick Melts shorten your cold, plus help you fall asleep and wake up naturally. Cold-Ease Zinc Ions released in your mouth inhibit the cold virus from replicating, making Cold-Ease the #1 pharmacist recommended brand.
I'm Ted Karkas, CEO, and I guarantee Cold-Ease will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
Corey was proud to serve his country. But when his Humvee was blown up in Iraq, doctors didn't think he would survive his injuries. But Corey surprised everyone. He came home to his wife and 2 children.
When I see the kids and Corey together, it's heartwarming because they accept him for who he is.
My dad is a superhero. I read to him. When I see my dad smile, I'm happy.
Your gift to Wounded Warrior Project can help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
I think it's very important for people to support the Wounded Warrior Project. For $19 a month, you give a family hope. Okay, ready? Here he comes.
Our heroes have returned home, and the war may have slipped from the headlines, but the ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come.
Sometimes I help my dad walk. He puts his hand on my shoulders.
Call or go online with a monthly pledge. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
I want the whole world to be able to meet Corey because he is someone that has never given up.
I'm really proud of my dad. Really proud.
Now is the time to show your support. You can honor and empower those who have sacrificed so much for us.
Being together with other wounded warriors, for Corey's sake, to be around caregivers for my sake, it's amazing. And just that sense of not being alone, because that feeling of being alone was probably the hardest thing.
For many of our warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Don't let that happen. Please, make that call or go online right now.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 72, winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 82, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Weather Center Live. Thanks for staying with us tonight. Well, today brought several dangerous conditions thanks to wintry weather.
Yeah, snow comes in fast, and it really makes everything so slippery. In fact, take a look at what happened in New Hampshire. We're talking 35 vehicles caught in 2 separate pileups along Interstate 93. Snow squalls moved through the state at about 10 o'clock in the morning, catching a lot of drivers off guard. Fortunately, though, no one was seriously injured in these crashes. Take a look at what the radar looked like right around the time of these accidents. We're talking about that light blue on the map. That is light snow, but it, again, it's just enough that it caused those slick conditions that moved in right around the time of both accidents. And this is not the only part of the country that we're tracking snow. In fact, Kim, I know you're tracking more, way more, with Winter Storm Frona.
And we're going to see a lot of it over the weekend, too. This is what we're talking about from Frona. Check this out, the Grand Canyon. You don't picture the Grand Canyon with snow on it, but what a beautiful picture. Blankets of snow here. This beautiful image was posted by the National Park Service, so that gives you an idea how cold this system was and how far south it got. Now, Frona brought much more dangerous conditions to Wichita Falls today. Several accidents were reported on I-44, including this rollover accident. Fortunately, no one was hurt in this crash. Hard to believe no one was hurt in this crash. Let's talk about Frona, where it is and where it's headed. Well, right now we're still feeling the effects of it in the southwest. It is a slow mover, but it's going to be a fast mover here over the weekend. We're going to be done with it by Monday. Looking at temperatures right now in Oklahoma City, Key. Temperature 37 degrees, so any precipitation that comes in should be in the form of rain, at least initially. Lubbock at 31, so we're talking about freezing rain here. So keep an eye on the temperature, and thank goodness we have those thermometers in our cars that can help us with this. So where you see the purple, that's indicating freezing rain in there. So if your temperature's flirting with freezing, bridges and overpasses are bound to be icy. They're the first things to freeze up. So please be careful here in West Texas, including here into San Angelo, as we may see temperatures drop below freezing here over the next couple of hours. So the big picture, we have all this moisture coming northward from the south. All right, not just the surface, but also here from the middle of the atmosphere and higher, the upper level low back in here. And this is what's driving it, or what's going to be moving out, the jet stream driving it towards the north and east eventually. There are jet streams, the 2 of them. This one is one responsible bringing the cold air in. This one's bringing the warmer air up, and that's going to actually affect the Ohio Valley with some very warm temperatures, where some of you may start out with some wintry weather, and then it changes over once you get in the warm sector or between the warm front and the cold front. So southerly winds will change that freezing rain for the Ohio Valley tonight over to rain by tomorrow, as temperatures will continue to go up even overnight for some of you. Looks like Cleveland still might be dealing with a little bit of ice. Chicago, maybe freezing rain, and then maybe changing over to snow eventually into Sunday as the colder air wraps back in around it. Kelly?
Okay, in the south has just been soupy out there today, and that rain is heading east. There's a live look at New Orleans, where folks are out and about on this Friday night. Temperatures made it to the mid to upper 70s. Right now, though, we're just below 70 degrees, and we've got those dew points in the 60s. So yes, actually feels a little muggy out there in the French Quarter. Strong storms are possible tomorrow in this part of the country. Let's get the details now from our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, New Orleans is the place where the Gulf of Mexico moisture has begun first to push back onshore, but it will be a bigger area tomorrow, and it'll have some upper air forcing to trigger some, maybe even some tornadoes, central Gulf Coast states tomorrow. Take a look. Here's New Orleans right now. So it's sitting at 70. It got to 76 as this warm, moist air, all these streamlines that we show here, coming in from the east-southeast. It's much cooler, though. You look up into Jackson and Montgomery, mid-50s or 53 degrees, but tomorrow it'll be in the 60s and 70s there as that warmer air comes farther onshore. Here's the rest of the ingredients. We have a cold pocket aloft. That's an upper low. And today, the winds are coming in that are strong enough for severe thunderstorms over areas of East Texas where it's too cool for the severe thunderstorms. Tomorrow, though, that will be farther to the east, and we'll have the surface winds coming in from the south and east. So there'll be some turning of the winds with height in this area that could allow some tornadoes to develop. Taking a look here, watch the computer forecast how this yellow and brown warm area moves actually and increases overnight, goes from 53 to 65 by sunrise tomorrow, Jackson, Mississippi. So the warm air moves onshore there as that southeast flow carries it. Watch the west edge of the yellow and brown area. That's a cold front, and it's going to push its way eastward. That cold front will be the focus for some of the thunderstorms. That gets into Mississippi and western Alabama and New Orleans area by, say, 3 in the afternoon. Then it continues to push east into Alabama and maybe the western parts of the Florida Panhandle. By evening there, it should get past the New Orleans area. So it'll begin early in the day in the western parts of the red shaded area, the severe weather threat, and then push by evening into the south and east portions. Not much of a hail threat, some heavy rain, some damaging wind gusts. Isolated tornadoes, tornado-wise, tornado condition index 3 on the 10-point scale, meaning about a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. Parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, West Florida Panhandle. Here's one computer rendition of how it might all evolve. This is a computer forecast of the future radar. Might begin before dawn near the Beaumont, Texas, Longview, Texas area, up into western parts of Louisiana, then push through the morning hours, and then into the afternoon hours, get a little bit more heating, maybe even an isolated little supercell ahead of the line, a line of thunderstorms coming east, and by evening coming towards, say, the Tuscaloosa area, and maybe 11 o'clock, midnight or so, even the remnants of that coming toward the Atlanta area. The next day, there might be some isolated severe thunderstorms from Norfolk, Virginia, down the eastern Carolinas into eastern parts of Georgia. So we need to be looking out for severe weather. Kim, Kelly?
Absolutely, Greg. Thanks so much. And of course, we're also looking at some very cold air moving in behind that system, plunging temperatures in the coming days.
Maybe the coldest air of the season for a lot of us. We're going to see blasts of Arctic air, actually 2 of them. Here's what we're looking at on Thursday. These are sub-freezing temperatures. So most of the country will be looking at temperatures below freezing.
Well, you know, much of the country saw a pretty warm December, and that meant the cost to warm our homes was less than what we paid last year.
But this upcoming Arctic blast may be a rude awakening for millions of us. We're joined now by Weather Channel business weather expert Paul Walsh. Paul, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's start with the basics. Yes. What role does weather play in determining how much we pay to heat our homes?
Well, Kim, pretty much everything. Of course, the colder it is, the more we have to pay to heat our home, and the more the price that the price of the commodity will be eventually. So weather is the key element in terms of determining how much we pay. And of all of the commodities that we use to heat our home, natural gas is probably the most weather sensitive. And about 50% of us use natural gas to heat our home in winter and also to cook. So the price of natural gas, both on the commodity market and eventually in terms of on our bill every month, is directly related to weather. And it has a direct impact on the overall economy of the U.S. because, of course, the less we pay to heat our home, the more money we have in our pocket to spend.
And we like that, of course, Paul. And
yes.
I know winter just officially began not too long ago, but how are we doing so far? How has this price of natural gas been impacted so far?
So far, the price of natural gas on the commodity markets has been at a 27-month low. And the reason is 2 things. One, fracking. So there's more natural gas inventory available to us. And the second is the weather. It's been warm. So this December thaw means that there's less people using natural gas. So demand is down, supply is up. So the price on the commodity markets has been really low. In terms of what we're paying, though, that doesn't directly impact. The impact that we directly pay is a function of demand. And as it's been warm, we've been paying less. So therefore, again, a little bit more money in our pocket.
And Paul, you know, with this Arctic blast coming our way here this week coming up, are we already starting to see maybe increases in the gas prices already?
Yeah, we are, Kim. And what's interesting is that a lot of the energy producers and the people that actually trade natural gas on the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, use weather forecasts to determine what kind of weather is coming, and they use that to determine how much they're going to pay for natural gas. So the prediction of this Arctic blast that we've been looking at over the last couple of days has actually resulted in the price of natural gas in the commodity markets finally going up after those 27-month lows. In terms of what we pay, we're going to end up spending more money for natural gas because the price that we pay is oftentimes set based on what happened last year. So the actual price is a function of the polar vortex for last year that we're paying. As demand increases, it's going to cost us more. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a bite out of our wallet as we move into next week.
We shall see. Paul, thank you so much for at least the heads up.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
I have the worst cold with this runny nose. I better take something.
Dayquil Cold and Flu doesn't treat your runny nose.
Seriously?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough fights your worst cold symptoms plus your runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Nexium, the purple pill, is available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection, so no matter where you go or who you're with, nothing is holding you back. This is Nexium Level Protection, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
I smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Children are dying every day from hunger and sickness. Innocent children, just like this one. These children are facing death right now. But with your support and just 50 cents a day, we can save them. Please go online or call this number and join the U.S. Fund for UNICEF for only $15 a month. It's just 50 cents a day. and you'll deliver emergency medical care, vaccines, and life-saving nutrition to the children who could die without it. It's just 50 cents a day, but it'll mean the difference between life and death for a child waiting for help right now.
Coming for to care.
Reach out to that child so they never have to look into the face of death again. Go online or pick up the phone now.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Weather Center Live. Boy, this was a dangerous morning across parts of the Southern Plains. Several crashes resulted from icy roads in Texas. In Wichita Falls, a car crashed into a police car, which was already on site responding to another crash. Luckily, no one was hurt. Now, these conditions are actually courtesy of Winter Storm Frona. It's pushing east. It's been very slow to do that, but it will start to get the boot here tonight all the way through the weekend, then we'll be done with it. But we're still dealing with it here in Texas. And where you see the purple, that's where we're indicating some icy roadways maybe. Freezing rain being reported in West Texas, so please be careful. There may be some rain mixing in as well, depending on the temperature. If it's freezing or below, it's going to be freezing rain. If it's above 32, then you're talking about probably just rain, but bridges and overpasses could be slick. So traveling in West Texas right now could be a problem. Wichita Falls, maybe more icy weather headed towards you as well. So again, Callie, we're watching this area in West Texas. Eventually this lifts up even into parts of the Ohio Valley.
And Kim, as you know, we are tracking not one, but two blasts of Arctic air. Chicago, you'll be flirting with record lows by the middle of next week. Right now, not too bad out there as we look live. It is 29 degrees, lots of cloud cover out there. But yeah, temperatures are going to be taking a big plunge by this time next week. And when temperatures get extremely low, you can sometimes feel a burn in your throat, especially if you're running. Meteorologist Mike Bettis explains why that happens and what you can do to help stop it.
Laced up, zipped up, and ready to pound the pavement. And when the temperature drops, many runners experience a burning when they breathe. But don't blame the cold. It's actually the dryness of the air that's causing this irritation. When air travels down your trachea, your body is warming it to match your body temperature, and then raising it to 100% humidity. The cells that line the trachea give up their water supply to make this happen. And when the air is dry, the cells can become dehydrated. That exchange can irritate your throat and chest and create the uncomfortable burning sensation. But doctors say simple things can keep it under control.
Maybe use a mask or a scarf to humidify and warm the air a little bit. Anything that provides just a little bit of extra space will help warm the air and humidify it. Also, if people breathe through their nose, the nose has a lot more surface area to warm and humidify the air, and it's better than if a person just breathes in through their mouth.
And stay hydrated. The more water you put into your body, the less likely the cells in your trachea will get dehydrated. I'm Mike Bettis, the Weather Channel.
All right, humidifiers definitely coming in handy. Also the lotions, the moisturizers, because it's going to be very cold in places like Minneapolis, where at night we're talking teens below zero. Right now it's actually not too bad. It's 28 degrees. 27 degrees on the south side in Burnsville, 27 degrees in Cottage Grove. This is going to feel downright balmy compared to what's headed your way. 29 degrees in Chicago, 35 in the Circle City there in Indianapolis. Lots of blues indicating where the temperatures are in the 30s. South of there into the green, that's where we're in the 40s and 50s south of the Tennessee Valley. So Tuesday, it all starts out right here in the upper Midwest. We're talking -2 for a high in International Falls. Single digits in Minneapolis. In fact, you may not even get above zero come Wednesday. -1 in Chicago. The cold air sinks south. It goes east as well into New York City by Thursday. We're talking 19 degrees. That is well below average for this time of the year. So Tuesday morning, we're going to be waking up to these kinds of temperatures. 0 in Minneapolis, and you can see Wednesday morning we're -6 in Chicago, and that's not even factoring in any wind. So make sure the kids are well layered up and definitely prepared for the bus stops. Look at that, -12 Thursday morning, 14 for your low in New York City. Atlanta, it's been a while since we've seen temperatures dip down into the teens, so definitely take those necessary precautions. Sometimes the pipes can be an issue in the south as well. You might want to wrap them up. Here's a look at Minneapolis, where the average low is 8. That's the overnight temperature where it typically gets down to. We're going to be a little bit warmer than that Saturday morning, but then definitely getting down into those negative digits, especially by the middle of next week. Kim?
And you know, a few minutes ago, we showed you what can happen when roadways get icy in wintry conditions. Now, do you know what to do when you encounter the most dangerous type, black ice?
It's a crisp fall morning as you drive into work. With only a light drizzle to contend with, it looks like smooth sailing. That is until you hit the overpass. You're sliding on black ice. To avoid crashing, would you A, accelerate through the icy patch, B, ease off the gas and allow yourself to coast right through it, or C, hit the brakes and stop as quickly as possible?
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
Everyone sees the same sky. But when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
Going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 72, winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 82, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
TheraFlu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. TheraFlu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. TheraFlu, serious power.
I smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
Started my Camry. Went to the auction. Won a storage locker. Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi, my name's Serena, and today is day 1 of my Hydroxycut transformation.
We're gonna live free.
I lost 30 pounds. Hydroxycut really works.
Hydroxycut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand. Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
Off and on throughout my life, I struggled with my weight, and Hydroxycut is the only thing that has worked for me.
Latte or Olay? Cozy or cool? Exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed. Save $300 on the final closeout of the C3 Queen mattress set. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. Only at a Sleep Number store. Find the lowest prices of the season with the C3 Queen mattress set, only $1199.98, plus 24-month special financing on all beds. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Your cold doesn't rest, but now you can. Cold-Ease Daytime, Nighttime Quick Melts dissolve quickly to shorten your cold. Nighttime Quick Melts shorten your cold, plus help you fall asleep and wake up naturally. Cold-Ease Zinc Ions released in your mouth inhibit the cold virus from replicating, making Cold-Ease the #1 pharmacist recommended brand.
I'm Ted Karkas, CEO, and I guarantee Coldies will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
And even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Before the commercial break, we asked if you would know what to do if you encounter black ice on the roadways. Here's your best plan of action.
Black ice refers to ice that's developed on the surface of a roadway. Now, black ice is actually transparent, but it takes on the color of the underlying surface.
When the ice starts to get wet from the outside temperatures warming up slightly, ice gets very, very slick as the tires hit. Can't do their job and really provide the grip and thus traction that gives you control and safety.
Temperatures get below 32 degrees. That's the freezing mark. You can see actually water start to freeze on the surface of the roadways.
The most susceptible areas to see black ice are typically bridges and overpasses because they not only cool from the top surface but the undersurface as well. So they cool the quickest, and that's where you're going to see that formation.
And here you are, careening out of control. What would you do if you found yourself sliding on dangerous black ice? Believe it or not, B, coasting with your foot off the gas is the right way to go.
One of the best ways to really approach black ice is to slow down all of your reactions, gently lift off the accelerator, and essentially try to coast through, not make any kind of rash movement, and glide through the area so that you can get as much grip as possible.
Well, of course, accidents are never a good thing, but there's something especially frightening when a fire truck is actually involved in one. Take a look at this scene outside of St. Louis this morning. A 60,000-pound fire truck flipped onto its roof after sliding off an icy road into a ditch. 2 firefighters were hurt, but St. Louis affiliate KSDK says their injuries are not life-threatening. The fire truck and firefighters were on their way to another accident at the time. We want to take a look at where more snow and ice is possible in the coming days. Kim is in the lab with your winter weather update. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kelly. And yes, we're going to possibly see some scenarios like that coming up for some of you. So let's show you where this is all beginning. And it's here in the southwest where we have Frona. And you can actually see in our water vapor imagery the little spin right here. That's the low that's been slow to move. That's what helped bring some of the snow to the Grand Canyon. But also, you see there's another little spin back in here. Let me see if I can get this. Back in here, that one, that is going to help kick this thing out. So it's going to start moving. So we're going to see an end to the cool weather and the nasty weather in the southwest. It's going to kick it up in this direction. So if you live around the Great Lakes, the Northeast, well, you're going to get all kinds of crazy weather. I'm not kidding. We're talking about snow, then changing over to rain, then back to maybe some freezing rain or snow again for some of you. There's the upper level low, as I pointed out in our water vapor imagery, but also aloft, right above the surface, we actually have southerly winds, and that's bringing up warmer air. Now remember, at the surface, we've got temperatures here in West Texas below or at freezing. But also up in this area, the Ohio Valley, temperatures are at freezing, if not below freezing, at least temporarily. So we have all that warm air loft going up over that cold air at the surface. That's why we're going to see more wintry weather or freezing rain in this corridor, where temperatures here are above freezing tonight. And we will actually see temperatures warming up for a lot of us as this storm system moves out. So on the backside, we still have that cold air in place in West Texas. That's where the icy weather and wintry weather is going to be. Tomorrow's much better in West Texas, except the Panhandle. Look what happens in Chicago. We could see initially rain or freezing rain, and then changing over to eventually snow here on Sunday. So we're going to see all kinds of wintry weather in Chicago. Be careful, there could be airport delays as well. And then the East Coast starting out with some wintry weather, but then changing over to rain as all that warm air moves northward. So Sunday is going to be a rainy day. To get there, though, we have to deal with this initially. Some icy weather, maybe some freezing rain or rain-snow mix in some cases, and some sleet. Albany, Buffalo, Pittsburgh may see this. And then we're going to see the threat for snow, especially on the northern edge of of this. Chicago, totally, by Sunday, your totals will be 3 to 5 inches for you. So it may come in 2 different ways, but we're going to see maybe 3 to 5 inches around town. Freezing rain advisories are in effect. Winter storm watches and advisories for parts of the Northeast, including here in Boston, where we may see maybe 3 to 5 inches, and maybe 1 to 3, and then 3 to 5, and especially north and west of town, where we're going to see some heavier snows. But this is actually beginning here on Saturday, and then Sunday changes it over to rain. So some of you with accumulating snow may see rain by the time this is all done. Kelly?
And we have one more thing to tell you about, a little radar tour that's coming up right after your local on the 8th.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, low 72. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey everybody, we are tracking a chilly rain across North Georgia and on into the Carolinas as well, but every once in a while you see a little lightning bolt shown here on the radar, so you might just hear a clap of thunder from time to time, but for the most part not seeing a whole lot of lightning. Moderate rain filling up the perimeter right now in the downtown Atlanta area on over towards Eatonton, just north of I-20. That's where we're seeing some heavier rainfall. Temperatures are in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. Cold enough over here in West Texas, though. We're actually seeing some sleet and freezing rain out here in the West Texas area, so be careful, especially those elevated roadways, bridges, and overpasses. Snow showers going down the Mohawk Valley right into the Capital District. At times, a few flurries over into the Berkshires. Not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, but we're also going to be tracking an Arctic front moving down from Canada. Already, we're seeing some snow breaking out across northern North Dakota, and that is really going to affect our temperatures come next week. And even here in the Pacific Northwest, a little bit of chilly rain in the Washington area. Strangest weather on Earth starts right now.
A sudden storm kicks a whole town in mud.
It was like watching a movie, but you are part of the movie.
The most powerful lightning on Earth.
That's the longest I've ever seen.
Rain so heavy, it sends eels swimming through the streets.
Eels in the gutter.
Welcome to the wild world of weather, where you'll see nature go nuts. Extraordinary events stranger than anything Hollywood can dream up. We discover how and why these crazy conditions happen.
Whoa!
Woo! You won't believe your eyes. This is the strangest weather on Earth. Santo Antonio da Platina, Brazil, February 2013.
Não, mas isso aqui é ignorância.
Eric Hayes is walking home from a friend's house when he spots what looks like spiders raining from the sky.
Chovendo aranha. Cara, dá até medo de andar aqui.
It's an arachnophobe's idea of hell. Hundreds of spiders, apparently floating in midair.
Cara, não vou aí não, velho. Sai daí, Robson. Cara, dá medo.
Dallas, Texas resident Kelly Coffey has her own creepy encounter when she discovers another episode of spider weather.
There were
were spider webs on the street lights. They were hanging off the trees. When they were blowing out, they were about 12 to 14 feet long. It was absolutely crazy. Everything was covered in spider webs.
Sticky spider webs are found all over North Texas. They're stuck to lampposts, cars, and everything else they touch.
On a scale from 1 to 10 of strangeness, I would say this was about a 21.
Are these spiders really raining down from the sky? No. But they may be getting some help from the weather. Many species of spiders can use their webs to fly. It's called ballooning. Peter Gorham of the University of Hawaii has long been fascinated with this unusual behavior.
Spider ballooning is a type of behavior that allows the juvenile spiders to launch themselves and find other habitat.
These special webs act like sails, and it only takes a very slight breeze to carry them away.
There they go.
The spiders seen in Texas may have been carried hundreds of miles by wind off the Gulf of Mexico. And it's not just the wind that helps our eight-legged friends take off. They can harness the power of one of nature's most spectacular sights. Joe Dwyer at the Florida Institute of Technology explains how some spiders can fly using lightning.
So the Earth actually forms this electrical circuit called the global circuit. It's energized by thunderstorms.
When a storm cloud forms, positively and negatively charged particles within the cloud are separated. This separation creates static electricity, which can be discharged in the form of lightning. But some of this static electricity is not discharged. It remains in the atmosphere.
Even if there are no thunderstorms around, there's still large-scale electric fields. They're always there.
A spider can collect a few of these charged particles on its web. Just like in a magnet, like charges repel each other. Because the particles on the web have the same charge as the particles in the air, the web is pushed away, and the spider flies.
Now, if you're very light, like a little spider, then it's possible, if you have enough charge on you or on your little web, to float or to rise in such electric fields.
Joe has prepared a simple demonstration to show how this works.
I made some homemade spiders. These are actually little Halloween spiders. I've taped pieces of mylar on the end to represent the webs. So I'm going to take one, put it on top of a Van de Graaff machine, which will develop a big charge. Turn it on. And away it goes. So the charge in the web causes the web to rise up in the Earth's electric field, taking the spider with it.
It's possible that if there were a strong thunderstorm in the vicinity, that the electrostatic field became very strong near the Earth's surface, and it allowed even these very large spiders to be lofted up in a ballooning episode.
Luckily for arachnophobes everywhere, the kind of spider weather seen here isn't an everyday event. Bergen, Austria, August 4th, 2012. The peace of a hot alpine summer is shattered by a huge torrent of mud. Village resident Bernhard Asmaya is a witness to this terror.
Suddenly, there was this huge sound. Everything was shaking. Everybody was shouting outside, "It's a mudslide, it's a mudslide."
The summer of 2012 sees weeks of baking hot weather that dries and hardens the ground in the mountains above. A sudden rainstorm breaks this material loose, which then picks up more debris as it tumbles downhill. It's a violent chain reaction. Bernhard grabs his camera and perches on a nearby rooftop to capture the enormous mudslide cascading through the town. Mudslides are not uncommon in this part of Austria, yet it's rare to catch this kind of dramatic footage on camera. Storm chaser George Korunis has survived many dangerous mountain weather events.
When you get a lot of rain falling in very steep mountainous areas that have a lot of loose dirt and boulders, rocks, the water can pick up those items. And because you have very steep mountains, they can pick up a lot of speed. And if you're living in a village or happen to be in the path of one of these things, you're gonna really be in a lot of danger.
Despite the danger, Bernhard stays on the rooftop and keeps filming.
It was like watching a movie, but you are part of the movie.
After 3 hours of this brown deluge, the streets and many of the buildings are coated in a thick layer of mud.
We knew that we have to be very, very fast because when the mud dries, it's like concrete and it's very hard and you can't pull it away.
A massive cleanup operation takes 3 days and even involves the Austrian army. Fortunately, the town has an early warning system in place, which is designed not for the summer, but the winter, to save the town from an avalanche. The town authorities decide to use it, and because of their quick action, no one is seriously hurt.
Nature is the most powerful thing in the world. And the humankind is just a small spot in it.
Coming up, all hail to the summer? It does on this beach.
My feet are going numb. I think we should go.
And one of the strangest sunsets in the world.
The sun sets right between these buildings.
Wild Weather at 8 continues after the break.
Alka-Seltzer Plus presents The Cold Truth.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something. I'll catch up later.
Truth is, Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go! And now, Alka-Seltzer Plus has a complete line of powders to treat your worst cold symptoms.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with relief so smooth, it's fast. Tums Smoothies starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
Hi, my name's Serena, and today is day 1 of my Hydroxycut transformation.
We're gonna live free.
I lost 30 pounds. Hydroxycut really works.
Hydroxycut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand. Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
Off and on throughout my life, I struggled with my weight, and Hydroxycut is the only thing that has worked for me.
Hydroxycut lets you lose weight your way. And go to hydroxycut.com to access the Be Thinner in 30-day starter plan.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
You're watching Wild Weather at 8.
Malua Bay, Australia, October 15th, 2013. Shocked residents wake up to a weird sight. The bay's beach is blanketed in what looks like snow.
My feet are going going numb. I think we should go.
A huge storm has struck overnight, sending temperatures plunging. It's a world away from the 86-degree sunshine of the day before. Arizona State University's Randy Cervini is intrigued by this unexpected weather.
For people in Australia, October is springtime. And you don't normally expect to go to the beach in Australia and see it look like a winter wonderland. But in essence, that's what it looked like. Although it wasn't snow that was covering this particular beach, it was actually hail. So much hail that it covered the beach like snow.
Hail is rain that has frozen during a convective storm, one created by heat rising from the ground, such as a thunderstorm. But because the surface temperature of the ocean is usually cooler than the air, these storms, and the hail that comes with them, almost never appear over a beach. So why does Malua Bay get hit by this ice storm?
While it's not unknown for Australia to have thunderstorms in the springtime, to have such intense thunderstorms as to create this massive amount of hail, that's quite unusual. And to have it occur near a beach location is doubly so. But part of the reasons for that has to do with the very strange weather that was going on in the interior part of Australia at this time.
Temperatures in surrounding New South Wales are so high that over 70 wildfires break out.
That intense heat helped to power up really strong convective thunderstorms such that ice particles were able to be carried in a roller coaster fashion through the thunderstorm and produce small hail, enough to literally cover this beach in hail.
Beach hail is so rare here that Malua Bay's wintry weather is a true freak occurrence. So next time you hit the beach, better dress warm.
My feet are going numb. I think we should go.
New York, New York, July 13th, 2012. A crowd